In this video, I'm going to talk about how to name salts or ionic compounds from the formulas. It's a little harder than going the other direction, because the other direction, if you have the name, you already know the charge, because the charge is probably implicit, at least in some of the names. So thinking backwards, you look at the formula and you think, first of all, is this an ionic compound? If it is an ionic compound, I just name the ions. So I see a metal, and then I see an OH. And OH in parentheses means that's hydroxide. That's one of those that you have to memorize. And so we're going to identify the cation without looking at the formula. Magnesium is always +2, and hydroxide is OH minus. And we look back at this and say, are we right? Is this the formula you'd expect from 1 magnesium and 2 hydroxides? And the answer is yes. So that kind of reinforces our suspicion that this is an ionic compound. And now the name of this is just the name of this ion and that ion. So it's magnesium, no 2, because magnesium is always +2, and hydroxide, so it's magnesium hydroxide. Okay, so now the next one. Is this an ionic compound? Well, it has a metal, all right, so probably ionic. And then we see a PO3. All right, a PO3 altogether should remind us of phosphate, but it's one less oxygen. So phosphate would be PO4, 3 minus. Phosphite will have one less oxygen, same charge. So that's phosphite, and this is copper. Now copper can be either +2 or +1, so here we have to figure out from the charge of phosphite and the formula, what's the charge of the copper going to be? Well, if this is a 3 minus, and I have 3 charges, they have to be 3 + 1 charges. Because if I had 3 + 2s, that would be +6 and -3. That does not add to 0. So this is copper 1. Generally, there's no space between the parenthesis oxidation number and the metal that the cation comes from. Space, phosphite. So it's just the name of the 2 ions. Copper 1, phosphite. And the formula just reflects how many of each we have. All right, so you do not write a parenthesis if you only have 1 phosphite. You do have to write a parenthesis if you have 2 of these polyatomics. All right, now here I see NH4, 2, so I should think, 2 big somethings, and NH4 is ammonium, which is really the only cation of these polyatomics. So I have 2 of those. And that means SO4 should remind me of sulfate, which is SO4 2 minus. And again, the number positive charge would be +2, because I have 2 ammoniums and a -2, and it adds to 0. So this is the salt ammonium sulfate. Just the 2 names, ammonium sulfate. All right, next. Is this an ionic material? Well, this is a metal and a nonmetal. Metal and nonmetals make pretty simple monoatomic anions and cations, and so sodium. Sodium's +1, always +1, so its name is simply sodium. Sulfur is S2 minus, sulfide, so this is sodium sulfide. And lastly, CO, and then CN parenthesis 3. So we should think, first of all, cyanide. And cobalt. Cobalt. Now, cobalt's another one of those variable charge ones, so we have to figure out from the total negative charge, what's the total positive charge going to be on each cobalt. Well, 3 minus 1s is a total of 3 minus. So this has to be a total of 3 plus, but that total 3 plus is only on 1 atom, so that's cobalt 3. So it's cobalt 3 and cyanide. All right, so that's how we figure out the names from the formulas, including what the charge is on some of the transition metals, where the metal cation can be one of several different oxidation states.